Look over here, you can see really tiny ones.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
This piece here is super interesting because it demonstrates multiple stages of the stonework process. So you can see here the fine finish. You can see here vertical saw blade cuts where they were going to remove this piece in through here and make this into a 90-degree angle. You can see where it was started with the circular tube drill here, and then this part was also going to be removed. So imagine you're working this thing to a 90-degree finish here. You go in with the vertical saw, you cut this, and then they remove this raw material out to make this a 90-degree angle here. And this piece also has some really weird anchor points where you can see here that they were using multiple sizes of tubular drill. You can see this one is about, 1.5 inches, 2 inches in diameter. But then if you look over here, you can see really tiny ones.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
That are, just about the size of a fingernail here. So they had multiple circumference or diameter, whatever measurements you want to use for the tubular drill. And then this would have been the final product of whatever was anchored in here. There was a housing for something that would have anchored down in this piece.
Do you see that one? It's lower. It's not right. Look at the trees, man.
There's another there.
It keeps changing direction. It shouldn't do that.
Lights don't bend like that. None of ours anyway.
It's closer. Listen.
Do you know England, the island, so I guess that would be Great Britain. Great Britain sits entirely north of the northernmost spot of Maine. In England, they don't have skiing. So what's up with that? Okay, so England is kept warm by sea currents that swirl from the Gulf all the way on up into the North Atlantic.
Gotcha.
Okay. And why am I saying that? Okay, because England is farther north, which means the North Star is higher in their sky. Because Santa Claus, the North Star is directly over his head. And as you trudge south, which would be any direction from the North Pole.
Every direction is south.
It's south from the North Pole. Right. So if you trudge south, then the elevation above the horizon of the North Star gets lower and lower.
Okay. As you go down.
So England is farther north than every place in the United States. So the North Star is pretty high up, which means the Big Dipper is not really dipping. Here at our latitude, we're
The formation is thought to be located in a remote desert region, possibly in the American Southwest. This natural formation or a petrified hand? What do you think?
You ever heard of the Cthulhu?
No, what the hell is that?
So the Cthulhu is like this octopus monster. It's kind of like the Kraken.
Oh, I know about the Kraken.
But it has wings.
Oh, hell no.
Yeah.
Flying octopus?
Yeah.
Nah.
All right, so listen. So the Cthulhu is said to live in like the very depths of the ocean, right?
Yes.
The Marianas Trench is the deepest part of the world.
Oh, yeah.
We haven't even explored, what, like 80% of the ocean?
I was reading about this too.
For all we know, the Cthulhu could live in the, in the Marianas Trench.
100%.
The city of Atlantis could be in the Marianas Trench.
Yeah.
But we don't know what's down there.
Before continuing, I wanted to warn you guys. Phones were being spied on. Click on this icon, then on more. If you see it, delete it immediately.
There was a, you know, that anglerfish with the light sticking up?
Yeah, and Nemo.
I didn't know that was an actual fish until there's pictures of it like underwater and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's a real fish.
It lives in the Mariana Trench. I'm like, yo, what the hell?
Like, who knows what's down there, right? Yo, scientists can tell us more about the moon than they can tell us about the Earth's water.
Yeah.
They can tell us more about the moon than the Earth's water, which is crazy.
The Great Pyramid's impossible granite isn't magic. It's logistics and brutal skill. That granite likely came from Aswan, hundreds of miles away, then hauled on boats and dragged on sleds over wet sand. And even without steel tools, copper plus stone pounders could slowly shape it, painfully but possible. The real mystery isn't if they did it, it's how they did it with that level of precision.
Three ancient sites governments seized and locked away forever. Number 3. Italy's Island of Death. Over 100,000 plague victims died on this cursed island near Venice. 50% of the soil is reportedly human ash and bone fragments. Number 2. France's sealed cave paintings. These 17,000-year-old masterpieces were being destroyed by tourist breath and body heat. The French government permanently sealed them in 1963 with steel doors and cameras. Number 1. Egypt's forbidden underground complex. A mysterious 10-foot granite vat contained unknown substances that have since vanished. Egypt's military seized it 60 years ago and banned all modern scientific investigation, which
humanoid body-like creatures in the water with, as he describes, the most crystal clear blue color in their eyes that he has ever seen. Now, once again, anything we talk about is for conversation, learning, entertainment purposes only. But have you heard this? Because I've now read 10 different reports and seen multiple videos all over social media, all over the different forums, and they're all claiming the exact same thing. So tell me, have you heard this? Because this is going to shake up history and the truth of our world like nothing else. So let's have this conversation today, because I want to know if more people know about this. So drop it in the comments.
Then we have the discrepancy with the actual Sphinx itself. The head doesn't match the body. The Sphinx's head is significantly small compared to its massive body. Some researchers think the head was recarved at a later date, possibly from a different era. If so, this suggests the body could have existed long before the current head was sculpted, potentially thousands of years earlier.
Will we ever travel at the speed of light? No. So that's a simple answer. Anything that has mass cannot travel at the speed of light, but anything that is massless, has no mass, has to travel at the speed of light. So photons, which are particles of light, for which, by the way, Einstein got the Nobel Prize, essentially, for something called the photoelectric effect back in 1905. So Einstein didn't get the Nobel Prize for relativity. He got it for this idea that you can think of light as a stream of particles hitting something and firing electrons out of it. So it's called the photoelectric effect. The way we understand physics at present, photons travel at the speed of light, not because they're light, but because they have no mass. So it should really be called the speed of massless particles. And that's built into Einstein's theory. It was subsequently realized, basically. So will we ever travel at the speed of light? No, unless you have no mass, in which case you have to.
heard about this before? In the Vatican, where they elected John the 23rd in 1958. And there was a very funny thing that happened in the conclave. Usually there's white and black smoke that goes out of the chimneys to tell you, we have a pope. And the white smoke came out. And everybody cheered and they went crazy. And then about a half an hour later, black smoke came out.
So white smoke means we found a new pope. Black smoke means no pope.
That's right. They'd have votes, or there'd be one reason or another. They'd have a round in the conclave, and black smoke would come out many times. Maybe it would take 2 weeks. But never was it known that white smoke came out, then black smoke came out.
So what was the scenario?
That somebody was elected, and that maybe something else happened, and he was pushed aside and someone else was put in. Some kind of power struggle. The man who came out was a man called Angelo Roncalli, and he was John the 23rd. Now, it's interesting to note that never had a pope taken the name of another pope ever before in history. But this man took the name of a known anti-pope from the 15th century that Cosimo de' Medici put in there as his own man. You know, whatever he was putting him in there for, some corrupt reason.
What's the brightest star in the night sky?
Everybody says the North Star.
Everybody says the North Star.
Everybody.
Without ever thinking, why should the North Star be the brightest star? That would be an interesting coincidence if that were the case. The star that happens to be above Earth's rotation axis is the brightest star in the night sky? Please. The universe is not that kind. The North Star is not even in the top 10.
Right.
Not in the top 20.
Yeah.
It's not in the top 30.
Wow.
It's not in the top 40.
Oh.
It's the 49th brightest star.
The 49th
yes.
brightest star in the night sky.
Correct.
Is the North Star.
Is the North Star.
And most people think that Venus is the North Star.
Right, when they see it.
When they see it.
Right, even though they're looking due west or due east.
Right.
Because it's right after or before where the sun was, and they think that's the North Star.
They think that's the North Star.
Yeah, it's sad.
Yeah.
I just... I don't know what to do about it. Okay. All right. So don't ever expect the North Star to find you.
Right.
You got to find the North Star. All right.
Oh yeah. That's someone like from space doing that. Ew,
look at
what
that.
is that?
Look at that.
Where are they gonna?
Construction workers that were literally just minding their own business building a parking lot just discovered a 80-foot dinosaur hiding underneath it. Okay, so this obviously sounds insane based off of what I just said, but the crews at Dinosaur National Monument in Colorado were doing routine construction on a parking lot. Just a parking lot, and they hit bones. These obviously weren't just any bones, they're dinosaur bones, and they're saying that the bones that they found are actually really big ones. This has now officially triggered the first excavation at this site since 1924, which is 100 years ago. So far, they're saying that they have pulled out around 3,000 pounds of fossils. They found 14 tail vertebrae from what appears to be the longest dinosaurs that ever lived, and they're saying that these dinosaurs could reach up to 80 feet long. And another thing that's wild about this is they've only uncovered about 20 feet of the skeleton so far, so there's potentially 60 more feet worth of dinosaurs still buried underneath there. Researchers are saying that there could actually be multiple dinosaurs in this one spot, and the excavation is pausing for winter and will resume in spring. So I guess that obviously means this is on pause due to the winter, but I'll have to keep you updated on what they find whenever they finish. A literal parking lot, 100 years, and an 80-foot dinosaur just sitting there the entire time.
Holy shit, what was that? Holy shit, what was that?
Dude, there is a supermassive black hole that scientists are saying just woke up after being dormant for 100 million years, and it's now blasting jets of plasma across space. Okay, so scientists just caught something absolutely insane that's happening in a galaxy that's called J1007. They're saying that there's a supermassive black hole that's at the center of this galaxy that basically went to sleep about 100 million years ago, and it just stopped doing anything at all, but now it's just randomly back. They're saying that this black hole just erupted like a cosmic volcano. They say that the jets that it's shooting out right now are stretching nearly 1 million light years across space, which is almost 10 times wider than our entire Milky Way galaxy as a whole. Researchers are describing this as watching a cosmic volcano erupt after ages of calm. Hello? And by the way, they're saying that they can actually see the layers of history because there are old faint jets of plasma from an ancient eruption around 240 million years ago, and then there's brand new bright jets from the current outburst. The entire point of this is that this now officially proves that black holes don't just stay active or stay dormant, they cycle on and off over millions of years. We're literally watching one do that right now. Dude, I didn't even know that black holes could go to sleep and then wake back up again.
A supermassive black hole has just awakened for the first time in over 100 million years. Great, this doesn't sound good, does it? Jesus. To put it into context, the last time this black hole was, well, alive, there would have been flipping dinosaurs roaming around Earth in their literal prime, and the actual Earth would have probably looked something like that. The photos that have been captured by NASA and other authorities are absolutely mental, showing this thing literally erupting like a volcano in space. Now, the crazy thing is, the power of how this is erupting actually has
enough force to reshape an entire galaxy.
Obviously, this isn't happening anywhere near our Milky Way. If it was inside our galaxy, yeah, you could probably say we wouldn't be here for much longer. So although this isn't going to actually physically cause us any harm, it's a very interesting thing to look at. The carnage that this thing can and will cause inside of its own galaxy is literally, you can't even comprehend it. And the fact they're able to see this on photographs just shows you how large this thing actually is. So of course we are fine here, but let's just hope an old black hole doesn't open in our galaxy, or you probably won't even know.
What if the 2.3 million blocks used to build the Great Pyramid of Giza were not quarried, but were actually cast? This is the controversial theory proposed by Joseph Davidovits, who argues that many of the pyramid stones were made from an ancient geopolymer, an early form of synthetic concrete. Chemical analysis of pyramid blocks reveals air bubbles trapped inside the stone, something that should not exist in natural limestone. Even more striking, human hair fiber had been found trapped inside some blocks, implying the material was still wet when it was placed. Further laboratory tests identified chemical compounds and amorphous silica phases that do not occur in natural limestone, but are consistent with low-temperature man-made stone. According to Davidovits, ancient Egyptians dissolved soft limestone using water and alkaline solutions, poured the mixture into molds which hardened into stone, allowing the precise fittings of the stone where a sheet of paper can't even pass between the gaps, suggesting the pyramids may represent one of the earliest examples of advanced material science in human history. If this is true, this still makes the builders of the pyramids far more advanced than history is ready to accept. We continue to support our theory, which we have discussed numerous times on our channel, that the pyramids are not tombs, but sophisticated structures built by a civilization far predating the dynastic Egyptians, and that they are far older than the conventional dates repeated in history books. But in the context of the geopolymer theory, we're going to view it as it's presented by Davidovits, who believe the pyramids were built by the Egyptians as we know them. This approach allows us to examine the evidence without redefining all of Egyptian history at once. It also helps show that even within the standard historical framework, something extraordinary may have taken place.
Satélite. Nossa, um meteorito. Que foi?
Dron no, ¿eh?
No. A ver si son los atlas.
Whoa, did you see that?
Again, it's still going. Look,
It's quiet, so quiet.
there, right there.
What is that? I don't know. It's just.
It's like waves or something.
Listen, it makes the lights dip. Listen.
Oh my God, another one!
Holy